Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Premier League 2025-26 predictions. Now, I don't mean to sound ungrateful right from the start, but honestly, this has always been my least favorite prediction video to make. Only because of the transfer window not even being over once the league actually begins. Meaning the squads that I'm talking about today could very much change even by the time I'm uploading this video. But that's okay, I just want to share with you guys my early thoughts regardless, and most of these prediction videos which I have seen directed towards the Premier League have aged like absolute milk. Last season was no exception to this either. No matter how much some of us like to meme Tottenham and United, I don't think anyone called this. Even Liverpool winning the league at the time was not the favorite outcome from the start. So let me know, how do you guys see the league panning out this season? As always, let me know all of your other disagreements with this video in the comments below. Please don't forget to drop an early like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into this. Cannot wait to revisit this video once the season ends. Let's start with the relegated bunch. I truly hate to be boring. I truly hope I'm wrong. I feel like most people are going to predict this as well. Yes, I am going for all the newly promoted teams to go straight back down. Burnley, Leeds, and Sunderland. Burnley, for some reason, I do have the least faith in, so I'm going to put them at 20th place. Last time they were in the Premier League 2 seasons ago, they finished 19th. And last season, they finished league second, but tied at 100 points with Leeds United. They're no doubt a cool squad and might feel confident with Scott Parker managing the club, who's already had loads of experience in the Premier League with Bournemouth and Fulham. His last match in the Premier League, though, is one Bournemouth fans would like to forget. And their keeper, James Trafford, has just signed for Manchester City. Of course, they've got some interesting signings, like very much upgrading their fullback department with Kyle Walker, Hartman, and Humphreys, and even acquired some interesting wingers in the mix as well. But no signing here fully screams to me that they'll be able to battle it out and avoid relegation. Right after I recorded this, Broja got confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, but he failed to do much at Everton and Fulham, so I can't really trust him. Leeds, on the other hand, in my opinion, acquired one of the most underrated center backs, Biol. The Slovenian gem was one of the best defenders at Euro 2024, and he can add so much strength to the back line to avoid them from leaking too many goals. Other decent signings so far, like Longstaff from Newcastle, but a fair criticism for this side is their manager Daniel Farke. He was exceptional for Leeds in the championship, but he is known to have a very poor record in top-flight football. 6 wins, 8 draws, and 35 losses in 49 matches while he was at Norwich. It's amongst the worst records for any Premier League manager that has managed more than 10 games for a club. So there was a lot of speculation in the first place whether or not he would stay at Leeds once they got promoted. But the chairman said he's the main man for the job and has full trust in him to at least kick off the season for the club. And it would be cool to see such a redemption story for the German manager to prove everyone wrong. Now, amongst the newly promoted teams, although I do think they will still get relegated at the time of this recording at least, I have the most faith in Sunderland to fight for a spot outside the relegation zone, even though they finished the worst in the championship amongst the newly promoted teams. I really think this squad has a lot of underrated gems, and they seem to be acquiring for more experience as this transfer window goes on. The latest transfer being Granit Xhaka coming in from Leverkusen. That massively improves the squad, as he's already had loads of experience in the Premier League and was a key player for Leverkusen's glory year. Enzo Lefebvre will be joining him in the midfield as well. Dia from Strasbourg. For the other underrated gems in this team, I think Troy Hume was one of the most hard-working players last season. They just acquired Mandava on the other side. Chris Rigg at attacking mid is an exceptional youngster, just 18 years of age. I just feel like they're lacking a prolific goal scorer for the Premier League standards. We'll see if they can continue to get some new type of transfers, but this side seems like a really rock-solid unit that could frustrate many of the top teams in the league. But at the end, I still think they'll finish relegated unless they continue to improve this transfer window. Now, moving on to the clubs that I'm predicting to just finish outside the relegation zone, I've got for Brentford, West Ham, and Wolves. Brentford might be a bit of a shock of a choice when you take into account their very solid 10th place finish last season. But so many departures are currently happening to this club. Wissa has been rumored like crazy to leave, but the biggest concern is their manager, Thomas the Frank Engine, who just choo-chooed his way to Tottenham, and now they've just appointed their technical coach, the Irish international Keith Andrews. This side could have a lot of Irish luck on their side though. My favorite signing of theirs has to be Kelleher in goal, who truly was incredible for Liverpool, just always struggled to be their main choice. He could be crucial for their success, along with Nathan Collins, of course, in the back line. It will be nice to see Henderson return to the Premier League, but to me this squad don't have what it takes to be too consistent to be a mid-table side like last season. They will have some hot form from time to time and could make some big teams struggle, but at the end they will just finish outside the relegation zone. Now, moving on to 16th, I've gone for West Ham. Part of me did want to believe in this club a little bit more, and of course the football season is long. things could change very quickly. But at the moment, not much is looking promising for this club. They are sticking with Graham Arnold, who has a negative win-loss ratio at the club so far in 19 matches. Füllkrug is looking to finally be fit after so many matches missed due to injury, but still somewhat underdelivered for his standards when he even was fit. Kudus going to Tottenham as well is a huge loss. Paqueta's future is extremely unclear, with potential bans thrown at him for suspicious betting activity, but some big fixes need to be made for the club fast. Right now, I don't see them being too proactive about it. Many quality players, of course, but I still think they will finish towards the bottom. Wolves 15th. Obviously, their main man Cunha has gone to United this window, but of course, they still have so many underrated stars to rely on. Getting the Colombian John Arias on the wing from Fluminense will add so much flair to this team. I think they've got underrated center back options, but their fullbacks might lack some experience, especially with Ait Nordi going to Man City. And their Portuguese manager Vitor Pereira actually has a positive ratio with the club so far in his 25 matches played in terms of wins and losses. But for some reason, I just don't see him keeping up that same pedigree when it seems like there's even more competition in the Premier League compared to last season. Now for the next three, 14th to 12th, I've got for Fulham, Bournemouth, and Everton. Fulham, I do think will drop a tad bit this season, despite them continuing to trust their now long-term coach, Marco Silva. And if this prediction comes true and he stays at Fulham the entire season, this would be his worst ever one. It's not such an unrealistic take. They do have a lot of great players on this side, though. Of course, Anthony Robinson has been phenomenal, but so far, not the most exciting transfer window. I am saying that Bournemouth drop a bit this season, though. As you can see, I've put them at 13. I still think they are a fantastic team backed by an incredible manager, Iraola. But some huge departures like Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid and Milos Kerkez to Liverpool is a huge loss for the back line. Hopefully they can hang on to Sarbani this season, but now it's rumored he's off to PSG. But some of their new signings I definitely think are underrated pickups. Serbian international Petrovic joining from Chelsea, who was just on loan at Strasbourg, along with another League One player, Troyfirth, replacing Milos Kerkez. Their attack in midfield still has a lot of depth that can flourish in the Premier League, as they have already proven. I'm just a tad bit worried about their defensive line with so many departures, but if they do avoid injuries, they still can be a rock-solid unit and have a decent season. I'm excited to see how Everton continue under David Moyes, who's actually had a decent start for them in his first 20 matches, only 5 losses there. I don't know how much it will come into play, but they could be motivated with new beginnings. At their brand new stadium, they'll be moving to away from Goodison Park. Decent arrivals for them as well, like Barry, who got 15 direct goal contributions at Villarreal last season. Moroccan youngster Adam Asno is a great addition to the back line. Jack Grealish is also rumored to join at the time of this recording. Despite all the negativity surrounding him in recent times, he's definitely still a skillful player that can contribute to a side like this. I just cannot see them doing way too poorly, but still throughout the season them having their dips. I feel like they could strive for top 10 honestly, but not too much more. 9th place max, but 12th to me, maybe even 13th, seems the most realistic. Now for the mid-table clubs. At 11th, I'm saying Nottingham Forest do drop a bit after the incredible season they've just had. At 10th, I'm putting Crystal Palace, and 9th, Brighton. Now, although Nottingham still have an incredible team, keeping the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White after many rumors of him going to Tottenham, I don't know how to explain it, but something feels fishy behind the scenes with the club owner Marinakis. I mean, in their reveal of being able to keep Morgan Gibbs-White with him renewing his contract, just all feels a bit of forced behavior. Bringing up Marinakis' name in nearly every sentence and doing the reveal with him in the first place is something not seen often. Now, if he's happy at the club, fair play, and maybe Nottingham just like to do things differently. But at the same time, maybe something could fall apart behind the scenes and Nottingham do crumble. I mean, Marinakis has allegedly already had a controversial and dodgy history. Either way, his passion of ownership for Nottingham Forest could either make or break the club. And I do think they are a very strong contender to have a decent run in European football this season, along with the Premier League. Just not as brilliant as it was all last season. I love their backline options though. At center back, he totally transformed Milenkovic immediately into one of Serbia's best players. Murillo has been brilliant as well. Chris Wood exploded into the Premier League last season, but now they also have Botafogo's Igor Jesus. Incredible player. He's the one to break the deadlock against PSG in the Club World Cup. I still see them doing well, like I said, just not miraculously as last season, with them putting some more focus into European football. Something the club has good history with, but not a lot of recent experience on. FA Cup winners Crystal Palace now I actually see improving a bit this season. It always seems a bit safe to put them mid-table. Maybe they could do even better, as I really like the direction this club is heading. If they're able to keep Guehi, that is even more of a bonus. Even Eze has had Arsenal links, but Oliver Glasner seems confident to keep him at the time of this recording. But they still have a lot of solid defenders to rely on. Curious to see if Borna Sosa can revive his form in the Premier League. Dean Henderson, I feel like, is one of the most underappreciated goalkeepers. Mateta getting some solid numbers as well over the past 2 seasons. I've got faith in Palace to just secure top 10. Now Brighton at 9th. This club is so fascinating because no matter the situation they're in with the players they give away, they always seem to keep their identity and perform quite well. Joao Pedro, Estupinian, Evan Ferguson all just left this window. But they just signed Greek youngster Kostolas from Olympiacos for a decent fee. Got Oliver Boskagli for free, who at one point was one of the best performing defenders in the Eredivisie. They Toiper from Bruges. The scouting this club has done over the recent years is nothing short but admirable. Ferdi Kadiolo as well was injured for quite a decent amount of the season since signing, so hopefully he stays fit this time around. This club always seems to stick to their identity no matter the options they have, and the winger depth they have to their disposal is unreal. Now for the top 8, I'll go one by one. Starting with number 8, it's Newcastle for me. With Alexander Isak most likely leaving, rumors of Šeško may be replacing him. I don't know if he's choosing them or United yet. This club, at the time of this recording, I don't know how many times I said that this video, have had a very frightening transfer window. Losing your star player who wouldn't even travel on preseason tour to push a move. I know they signed Alenga, that's a huge bonus, but now the squad is lacking an incredible striker. But they're still a great club at the end of it all, just winning the Carabao Cup as well, ending their incredibly long trophy drought. 7th place, we are going for the Manchester United improvement. Trust me, I am not a United fan, but I do think that they will go back to somewhat winning ways. I really do think United will have a better season than the one that they would like to forget. It's crazy as this is the first time in the modern Premier League era that they will play without a single Premier League winner in their squad. In recent years, they've also been notorious of halting some careers. We'll see if Cunha and Mbuemo will be the latest victims of this recent curse. Regardless, the one to defy that curse and always gives it his all is Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho is now even rumored to go to Chelsea. We'll see how much he improves. Luke Shaw claims they have what it takes to win the league. And although I am not knocking him for having self-belief, I mean, you always have to believe you are one of the best in order to succeed in life. However, taking a step back objectively, they are most likely not there yet. But with Amorim finally having his first full season ahead of him with some new transfers, not having any European football so he can fully focus on the league itself, United should get top 8 for me minimum. I'm going for 7th place. 6th place now, Aston Villa seems safe to put here. At the time of this recording, no significant transfers, but no significant departures either. They seem to trust their squad and I don't blame them. Many of their players seem to be the perfect fit and they thrive under Unai Emery. Hopefully Watkins doesn't go, his numbers have been incredible. A few hints of Martinez also leaving, but it doesn't seem like it's happening. I don't see how this team could fall too low unless injuries halt them. They're really ambitious under Emery these days. Top 8 surely, and I'm going to give them 6th place. 5th place is another big boost from last season. I'm going for the Europa League champions Tottenham Hotspur, who finished 17th last season under Ange Postecoglou. But now they've got Thomas the Frank Engine, who, like I mentioned earlier, was incredible with Brentford. Dargushin will be injured until December, which is unfortunate, but they have so much depth in the defense. Particularly excited to see how youngster Luka Vuskovic does. Hopefully he gets a good amount of playing time. 9 goals last season as a center back while on loan. And the signings they brought in, Mohamed Kudus, already Premier League proven, should be a work of art for the club. But the most recent news is they're getting Palhinha from Bayern as well. Again, another Premier League proven player. He shined at Fulham prior to joining the German Giants. Tottenham seems serious this season. Of course, many times things do not go their way, but I still think that they can frustrate some big clubs this season and at least secure 5th. Maybe that placement is a stretch, but something I am 100% confident on is that they will do better than last season. At least in the Premier League. I don't know how they're going to do with trophies. European football, I'm not too sure how the Champions League will treat them. Tottenham have every reason to believe. I just hope they are not too confident, just the fact that they are the champions of Hong Kong. Also recorded this before Son announced his departure. What an absolute legend for the club. Of course, he'll be missed in the Premier League. Top 4 now. Before I get into this, I just want to emphasize that all the teams I have put in this part in particular, I believe that every single one of these fan bases have every reason to believe that they can go on to win the Premier League. This isn't me sleeping on anybody. It's just a toss-up truly, and I think this might be one of the most competitive Premier League seasons we'll be seeing in a while. 4th place, I'm going to give it to Club World Cup champions Chelsea. Again, I really would not be surprised if they push even further. Joao Pedro is fitting into the squad perfectly so far. Huge improvement for the forward depth. Liam Delap added as well. Jesus could shine coming from Dortmund. They've even now got their hands on the Brazilian wonderkid Estevao. The midfield though is elite, with Fernandes and Caicedo building more and more of a connection over time together, and Cole Palmer of course becoming the new poster boy for England, turning up miraculously in 2 finals in a row. He was criticized for not doing so well in the second half of the season, but he still finished it off with a bang. Hopefully injuries do not haunt them. Reece James can be crucial, of course. Chelsea are honestly looking more and more dangerous since Todd Boehly bought the club, and I could see them being Premier League contenders, but at the end finishing 4th. For 3rd place, despite this club being optimistic every single year, and to be fair, adding to the pressure in the Premier League race, getting 2nd 3 times in a row, I'm going to be putting Arsenal at 3rd this time. What a transfer window they've had, signing the top goal scorer in Europe last season, Gyökeres. Some are skeptical, of course, with players shining in Portugal and then not living up to the hype in the Prem, but the Swedish striker is definitely a gem and can become an icon for the club. He is not even their most expensive signing though. Zubimendi was bought for 70 million from Real Sociedad after he said no to Liverpool the year before. The defensive midfielder though is a great addition and could be quite the upgrade from options like Thomas Partey. No guard in the depth as well. The only signing I'm slightly surprised about is Madueke being bought for 56 million. Great player, but not extremely consistent. Either way, they really need to stop giving Chelsea so much money. I think they spent like 140 million on Chelsea players over the last 5 years. They actually are looking like a complete team on the surface for now. And full credit to Arteta, he has proven that he can adapt quite well when there are some injury concerns. Again, they are Premier League contenders, but I do see them still falling short at moments, which is why I'm putting them at 3rd. 2nd place is Manchester City. They had horrific dips last season, but did pick themselves up by the end and finish 3rd place. Definitely not an ideal season for Pep Guardiola by any means. He set records as it has never gone that poor for him. Surely things will work better for him this time around though, with some incredible signings like Reinders, who was one of Milan's best players last season, skillful Cherki, Ait Nouri adding fullback depth, and of course James Trafford if he ever gets sick of Ederson and Ortega. Of course, Rodri finally recovering from his injury will be a significant boost to end their nightmares. De Bruyne will be missed as he's gone to Napoli for free. Definitely will be missing some kind of dominant player like that, but I do still see them thriving quite a bit this season. That means finally for 1st place, I am going with the popular pick of Liverpool winning back-to-back Premier League titles. That could age quite poorly. This squad has changed a lot since they have last won the league. Wingers have gone, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Diogo Jota. Lucho gone to Bayern. Trent pretending like he has not plotted this Madrid move for a while, but the arrivals they have brought in on paper look incredible. Florian Wirtz is amongst the greatest talents, and it was shocking to see Liverpool splash so much cash on him. Fullbacks as well, Frimpong could honestly be an upgrade from Trent, and Milos Kerkez, I am confident he'll shine. I've known about him since he was at AZ. Ekitike, I am skeptical about, to be honest. I do not think he was worth that price tag, especially with how many strikers from Frankfurt did flop, but we'll see if he proves me wrong. Either way, Isak is one of the heaviest transfer rumors throughout all of football, and I have belief he could turn up despite Liverpool potentially dropping a fortune on him too. Arne Slot is an incredible manager, and the fact that he won the league with Liverpool, his first ever season in the Premier League, deserves all the praise. With even more ingredients to succeed, I do not see why he could not do it again. Many argue that the Premier League was not competitive enough, but to deny Liverpool's brilliance is simply ridiculous. Maybe things will change, maybe Salah will slow down this season, but still, I think Liverpool have every reason to believe. Well guys, those are all of my predictions as you can see here. For those of you that are saying that this is a bit boring and similar to last season's results, I reply with Manchester United and Tottenham doing so well will be my surprise picks this season. But let me know where I went wrong in the comments below. Send me your full predictions as well and other things you'd like to predict as well, for example like top goal scorer of the tournament. Thank you all for making it to the very end of this video. From now on, I'll be uploading longer videos more frequently. Once again, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care. La cu noite.